March 17th, 2005, Chicago. A hospital room bathed in afternoon light, filtering through half-closed blinds. Thomas Kowalski, 86 years old, lies in bed with his family gathered close. His breathing comes shallow and slow. His grandson Michael sits beside him, holding the old man's weathered hand. Thomas's eyes open. He looks at Michael with the clarity that sometimes comes in final hours. His voice is barely a whisper. "Check my wallet." Michael reaches for the worn leather billfold on the bedside table, opens it. Inside, tucked behind Thomas's driver's license and a faded photo of his wife Helen, he finds something wrapped in yellowed wax paper. The package is small, flat, carefully preserved. Michael lifts it out. The wax paper crinkles in his hands like ancient parchment. "What is this, Grandpa?" Thomas's lips move. The words come soft but deliberate. "A promise I kept." Michael begins to unwrap it. Thomas's hand shoots out with surprising strength, gripping his grandson's wrist. "Don't open it. Just know it's worth more than gold, worth more than everything I ever owned." Thomas's eyes close. His breathing slows. 3 hours later, he's gone. The family would later discover what lay inside that wax paper. A piece of roast beef, 60 years old, mummified but intact. And on the inside of the wrapper, words written in faded ink, "Für den Mann, der mich rettete," for the man who saved me. This is the story of how that piece of meat came to rest in a Chicago cop's wallet for 6 decades. It begins with 3 words that could mean chains or salvation. It begins on the day 282 skeletal women discovered what American truly means. It begins with roast beef. May 8th, 1945, late afternoon. A dusty road 3 miles outside Regensburg, Germany. The war in Europe ended at midnight. The guns fell silent, but 329 women are still marching. They move in ragged columns 4 across, stretched along the road like a funeral procession. Their uniforms hang on skeletal frames. Luftwaffe auxiliary grey-blue wool torn and stained. Most have no coats, despite the spring chill. Their boots are broken, some held together with strips of cloth. Many walk barefoot feet wrapped in rags. These are Helferinnen, female auxiliaries of the German Air Force, signals operators, flight coordinators, anti-aircraft spotters. They served the Reich for 3 years. Now the Reich is ash, and they are ghosts stumbling through its ruins. At the front of the column walks Anna Schmidt, 19 years old, 5 feet 4 inches tall, 89 pounds. Her cheeks are hollow skin stretched grey over bone. Her eyes sit deep in shadowed sockets. Her lips are cracked and bleeding. She hasn't spoken in 6 days. She can't feel her legs anymore. She watches them move beneath her as if they belong to someone else. Left foot. Right foot, left foot. The rhythm is all that keeps her upright. Beside the column, American soldiers walk as guards. They smoke cigarettes and listen to jazz music crackling from a portable radio. The sound is alien to Anna. Saxophone and drums, a woman's voice singing in English about moonlight and love. The Americans laugh at something. One of them offers his canteen to a woman who collapses. She drinks and weeps. Anna doesn't understand. The enemy is supposed to be brutal. That's what Oberführerin Kaufmann taught them. Anna's mind drifts backward through the haze of exhaustion. She sees herself 3 years younger, 16 years old. January 1942, Berlin, the recruitment center for Helferinnen on Wilhelmstrasse. The room smells of floor wax and new wool uniforms. 80 girls sit in neat rows on wooden chairs. Anna sits in the 3rd row, spine-straight hands folded in her lap, like her mother taught her. On the wall hangs a portrait of the Führer. His eyes seem to follow her. At the front of the room stands Oberführerin Kaufmann. 45 years old, steel-grey hair pulled tight in a bun, Iron Cross second class pinned to her uniform. She speaks with the absolute certainty of the true believer. You are the daughters of Germany. You will serve the Reich with honor. You must understand what we fight against. The lights dim. A projector whirs to life. Images flicker on the screen. Footage of soldiers, American uniforms. The film is grainy, clearly staged, but the girls don't know that. They see what they're told to see. Negro soldiers surrounding a French woman. She screams. The image cuts away. This is what Americans do, Kaufmann says. They are a mongrel race, controlled by Jewish financiers. They have no culture, no discipline. They eat like pigs, greasy food, no refinement. If you are captured, they will violate you. Then they will starve you like dogs. Better death than dishonor under American hands. Anna believes every word. Why wouldn't she? Her father wrote the same thing in his letters from the Eastern Front. Captain Heinrich Schmidt, Luftwaffe, 4th Air Fleet. His last letter arrived in December 1942. 3 pages of careful handwriting. The enemy grows stronger, but our cause is just. Hold the line, my Anna. Never surrender. The Americans are worse than the Soviets. If the Reich falls and you are taken prisoner, remember your honor. Death before shame. 2 weeks after that letter, the telegram arrived. Captain Schmidt killed at Stalingrad. Anna was 17. She had already enlisted. Now, she had one more reason to serve. To make her father's sacrifice mean something. For 3 years, Anna operated radio equipment at a flak installation outside Munich. She relayed coordinates. She tracked enemy bombers. She did her duty. She never questioned. Not when the rations grew smaller. Not when the bombing grew worse. Not when girls younger than her died in the rubble. She believed in the cause. She believed in the Führer. She believed that Americans were monsters. Until April the 20th, 1945, when the SS guards at her post received orders to evacuate. The Red Army was coming from the east, the Americans from the west. The installation was to be abandoned. The women were to march north to a safe zone that existed only on outdated maps. 329 women began that march. Across them all, one name repeats in Anna's memory like a prayer. Lotte Fischer, 18 years old, from Hamburg. Anna's bunkmate for 2 years. They operated radios side by side. They shared rations when food grew scarce. They sang songs on cold nights to keep warm. Lotte died on May the 3rd, day 14 of the march. They were somewhere in Bavaria. The landscape all looked the same by then. Burnt villages, cratered roads, the smell of death everywhere. The SS guards had abandoned them 5 days earlier, April 28th, when news came that Hitler was dead. The guards simply walked away in the night. Took their weapons, left 329 women on a country road with no food and no orders. Oberleutnant Margareta Wolf took command. 34 years old, career military, a logistics officer with 15 years service. She gathered the women and gave them a choice. We can stay here and wait for the Soviets, or we can march north and hope for the Americans. The Soviets will rape us and kill us in that order. The Americans might show mercy. Those are our options. The women voted to march. They had no rations by then. The last of the black bread ran out April 29th. They foraged in abandoned farms, ate raw potatoes, drank from streams. 11 women died of dysentery in the first week. On May the 3rd, Lotte couldn't walk anymore. Anna held her up for 3 miles. Lotte's arm around Anna's shoulder, their combined weight barely more than one healthy person. But eventually, Lotte's legs gave out completely. They sat by the roadside. Anna cradled Lotta's head in her lap. The column kept moving. Margareta Wolf stopped long enough to say, "We can't wait. I'm sorry." Then she moved on. Anna held Lotta as she died. It took 40 minutes. Lotta's last words were clear. "Don't let them make you nothing." Anna didn't understand what she meant. She closed Lotta's eyes, laid her gently in the grass, stood up, kept marching. 46 more women would die before they reached Regensburg. Starvation, exhaustion, dysentery. One girl simply sat down and refused to stand. Another walked into a river and didn't come out. By May 8th, 282, women remained. Anna's weight had dropped from 132 pounds to 89. She could see every rib through her skin. Her hip bones jutted like knife edges. Her hair was falling out in clumps. Her gums bled when she swallowed. She knew she was dying. She just didn't know how much longer it would take. The column reaches a checkpoint. American soldiers in clean uniforms stand behind a wooden barrier painted white. Beyond them, Anna sees rows of tents. Barbed wire, guard towers, a prisoner of war camp. The Americans wave them through. No aggression, no violence. One soldier offers a cigarette to Margareta Wolf. She takes it with trembling hands. The women are directed toward a processing area, a large open space with benches and tables. American flags hang from poles. The sight of those flags makes Anna's stomach turn. The enemy banner, the symbol of everything she was taught to hate. She reaches for her collar. Sewn into the lining is a small pill, cyanide. Every Helferinnen received one during training. If captured and threatened with violation, bite down, Oberführerin Kaufmann had instructed. Death is preferable to dishonor. Anna fingers the pill through the fabric. She hasn't removed it in 3 years. She thinks about Lotta's last words. Don't let them make you nothing. If they're going to rape her, she'll bite down first. That's her plan. Die with her honor intact, like her father would have wanted. The column slows, stops. Women collapse onto benches. Some simply fall to the ground. Anna stands in line. The woman in front of her sits down, hard legs giving out. Anna tries to step around her. Her vision tunnels. The edges go dark. She takes one more step. Her knees buckle. She's falling forward. She sees the ground rushing up. There's a rock directly in her path. Her skull is going to split open on that rock. Some distant part of her mind thinks this might be better than what comes next. Then someone catches her. Arms slide under her shoulders. Strong hands grip her ribcage. She weighs nothing. She's lifted like a child. Her eyes snap open in terror. An American soldier, holding her. His face is close to hers. He's young, maybe 26. Dark hair, grey eyes, a scar on his left jaw. His eyes are wet. Anna doesn't understand why his eyes glisten with moisture. Anna doesn't understand why he's crying. Her hand goes to her collar, to the pill. This is the moment. He's going to carry her somewhere private. He's going to hurt her. She needs to bite down now while she still can. But his face, those tears. Why is he crying? He says something in English. She doesn't understand. Then he switches to German. The accent is terrible, clearly learned from a grandmother or a phrase book. But the words are clear. Du gehörst mir jetzt. You belong to me now. Anna's blood turns to ice. This is it. The moment Oberführerin Kaufmann warned about. They will claim ownership. You will become their property. Her fingers find the pill through the fabric. She's about to tear it free and swallow. Then he says the rest. Ich lasse dich nicht verhungern. I won't let you starve. His eyes, still crying. Not with lust, not with cruelty. With something Anna doesn't recognize. Something that looks like the face her father made when he held her as a child. Sadness, determination, protection. The soldier carries her. She's too weak to resist. too confused to understand. He's walking fast, shouting in English. Other soldiers jump out of his way. He carries her around a tent toward a field kitchen. She smells food cooking. Real food. Meat. The scent hits her like a physical blow. She hasn't smelled cooking meat in 8 months. Not since Christmas 1944, when they had horse meat stew. The soldier sets her down gently on a bench. Wooden slats rough against her spine. He's still shouting. A shorter man in a cook's apron runs up. They argue. The cook keeps shaking his head. The soldier gets louder. Finally, the cook throws up his hands and runs back to his station. Within minutes, women are being seated on benches all around Anna. 282 skeletal figures in torn uniforms. They sit in silence, too exhausted to speak. Then the food comes. Men in aprons carry metal trays, mess kits, the kind soldiers eat from. They place one in front of each woman. Anna looks down at her tray. 8 ounces of roast beef, real beef. Cooked brown on the outside, pink in the middle, juice pooling at the edges, mashed potatoes with beef gravy still steaming. Green beans with butter, real butter, not the ersatz margarine they'd been issued for years. 2 slices of white bread with more butter, a slice of apple pie, a glass bottle of cold milk condensation beading on the outside. Anna stares at it. This can't be real. This is a hallucination from starvation, or a trick, or poison. Around her, women stare at their trays with the same disbelief. The soldier who caught her sits down beside her. He mimes eating, puts his hand to his mouth. Essen, he says in broken German. Eat. Anna picks up the fork. Her hand shakes so badly she can barely hold it. She cuts a small piece of roast beef, lifts it to her mouth. The smell is overwhelming. Salt, fat, char from the cooking. Her mouth floods with saliva. She puts it in her mouth. The flavor explodes across her tongue. Salt and umami and the rich, complex taste of real protein. Fat coats her mouth. Juice runs down her chin. The texture is firm but tender. Actual muscle fiber, not sawdust or potato starch or whatever they'd been calling food for the past year. This is what meat tastes like when it comes from an animal instead of a ration tin. Anna tries to swallow. She can't. Her throat has forgotten how to work. The meat sits on her tongue. The flavor intensifies. Her body starts to shake. She begins to sob. Not gentle tears, wrenching full-body sobs that convulse her skeletal frame. She can't breathe, can't swallow, can't stop crying. The roast beef falls from her mouth back onto the tray. Around her, the same scene multiplies 281 times. 282 women crying into mess tins, some stuffing bread into their pockets with shaking hands, unable to believe this is real, certain it will be taken away. Some staring at the butter as it melts on the bread, whispering "Danke" over and over like a prayer. Some simply frozen forks halfway to mouths, tears streaming silently. One woman, older than the rest, sits rigid with her back straight. Oberleutnant Margaret Wolf, 34 years old, 15 years of service, Iron Cross, First Class. She has not cried since 1940 when her husband died in France. She takes one bite of mashed potato. The tears come. She doesn't make a sound, but her shoulders shake and tears pour down her face and drip into the gravy. The American soldier sits beside Anna. His hand rests on her shoulder, not grabbing, not claiming, just there, steady, warm. He says it again, in German. Du gehörst mir. You belong to me. Anna looks at him, studies his face. The tears have stopped, but his eyes are red. There's no hunger in his gaze, no ownership, just that strange expression she couldn't name before. Now she knows what it is. She's seen it in old photographs of her father holding her when she was small. It's the look of someone who's decided you're worth protecting. The soldier taps his chest. Thomas, he says, then points at her. Name? She opens her mouth. Her voice comes out as a croak. She hasn't used it in 6 days. Anna. Anna, he repeats. He nods, points to the food, then to himself. I take care of you now, tomorrow too, every day. Around them, 282 women eat slowly, methodically, like this is the last meal on earth. For 47 of their friends who died on the march it had been. Anna takes another bite of roast beef. This time she manages to swallow. The meat goes down like salvation. Her stomach cramps immediately. Her body doesn't know what to do with real food anymore. But she doesn't care. She eats. She cries. And for the first time since April 20th, she thinks maybe she won't die today. The American soldier. Thomas doesn't leave her side. He watches her eat, makes sure she goes slow. When she tries to eat too fast, he puts his hand over hers. Gentle, careful. Langsam, he says. Slowly, she obeys. The sun begins to set. The western sky turns orange and gold. American jazz still plays from somewhere. Women finish eating. Some fall asleep on the benches, food still on their trays. Guards don't wake them. Anna looks down at her tray. Half the roast beef remains. She's physically incapable of eating more. Her stomach feels full for the first time in months, but she knows it's an illusion. She's eaten maybe 4 ounces of food. In 3 hours she'll be hungry again. She looks at the remaining roast beef, then at the bread in her pocket. Tomorrow this might not be here. Tomorrow they might realize they've wasted good food on German prisoners. Tomorrow the orders might change. She needs to save this, hide it, make it last. But even as she thinks it, she knows that's the hunger talking, the scarcity mindset. 3 years of rationing has taught her to hoard every scrap. Thomas seems to understand. He points at the leftover food, then at his watch, then holds up 8 fingers and points at the sunrise. Breakfast, 8 in the morning. There will be more food tomorrow. Anna doesn't believe him, can't afford to believe him, but she's too exhausted to argue. Guards direct the women toward barracks, long wooden buildings with rows of bunks. Anna walks on legs that feel like water. Thomas walks beside her. At the barracks door he stops. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out something wrapped in brown paper. A chocolate bar. Hershey's. He puts it in her hand. Tomorrow, he says in English. Then in German, Morgen, I bring more food. Anna holds the chocolate. It's warm from his pocket. She hasn't seen chocolate since 1943. She looks up at him, tries to find words, manages only one. Warum? Why? Thomas looks at her for a long moment. Then, in halting German, meine Großmutter, my grandmother. She's starved in old country, Poland. I see her in you. He touches his chest, his heart. I see her. I help you. Then he's gone, walking back toward the American section of camp. Anna stands in the doorway. Women shuffle past her into the barracks. She looks down at the chocolate in her hand, looks at the bread in her pocket, looks at her tray being collected by a soldier who dumps the leftover food into a bin without comment. Tomorrow there will be more. She doesn't believe it, but she wants to. Inside the barracks she finds a bunk, clean straw mattress, scratchy wool blanket, US Army issue. It smells like laundry soap. She lies down. Every muscle in her body screams. She's been walking for 18 days. She weighs 89 pounds. She should be dead. Instead, she's in a bed with a blanket and chocolate in her pocket and the taste of roast beef still on her tongue. She touches her collar, feels the outline of the cyanide pill. She thinks about his words, his tears, the way he said, "I won't let you starve." Oberführerin Kaufmann said Americans claim women as property. Property. Violation. But Thomas said them while crying, while feeding her, while making sure she ate slowly so she wouldn't hurt herself. Anna's fingers trace the pill one more time, then she rips it free. The thread breaks. The pill falls into her hand, small and white and deadly. She throws it under the bunk. She doesn't need it anymore. Because she's starting to understand that "you belong to me" can mean two different things. It can mean chains, or it can mean "I won't let the world hurt you anymore." And on that May evening in 1945, lying in a clean bunk with a full belly for the first time in months, Anna Schmidt decides to believe in the second meaning. Outside, stars appear. Jazz music drifts on the wind. American soldiers laugh about something. Anna closes her eyes. She dreams of roast beef, not of bombs. May 9th, 1945, 6:30 a.m. Anna wakes to sunlight streaming through gaps in the barracks wall. For 3 seconds she doesn't remember where she is. Then her stomach cramps and the memory floods back. The roast beef, the American soldier, Thomas. She sits up too quickly. Her head spins. Around her, women stir on their bunks. Some groan. Some don't move at all. Anna's stomach feels like it's tearing itself apart. Sharp pains radiate from her abdomen. She stands gripping the bunk frame for support. Needs to find a latrine, now. She stumbles outside. The morning air is cool. Other women emerge from barracks, walking hunched over, clutching their stomachs. A few are vomiting behind the building. Anna makes it to the latrine trench just in time. Her body purges violently. When she's finished, she's shaking, covered in cold sweat. This is wrong. The food was supposed to help. Instead, it's killing her. A woman appears beside her, older, wearing a white armband with a red cross. American medic. "Come," the woman says in accented German. "Doctor needs to see you." Anna follows her to a medical tent. Inside, dozens of women lie on cots, some hooked to intravenous lines. The air smells of disinfectant and sickness. A man in a white coat moves between beds, tall, thin, maybe 40 years old. He speaks to each woman, briefly checks their pulses, makes notes on a clipboard. He reaches Anna. His name tag reads, Captain Barnes. "Lie down," he says in perfect German. "You're experiencing refeeding syndrome. Your body is in shock from receiving real nutrition after prolonged starvation. We're going to monitor you." Anna lies on the cot. A nurse inserts an IV needle into her arm. Clear fluid drips from a bag hanging above her. "How many women?" Anna asks. 34 are hospitalized, Captain Barnes says. "Your organs are shutting down. We're trying to stabilize you. Some of you we can save, some we can't." His voice is matter of fact. Not cruel, just honest. Anna watches the IV drip, drop by drop. She thinks about yesterday's roast beef, how it tasted like resurrection, how it might actually kill her. The irony is not lost on her. 3 hours later, a woman 2 cots down starts seizing. The nurses rush over. Captain Barnes works for 20 minutes. Finally, he steps back, pulls a sheet over her face. Anna learns her name later. Helga Braun, 42 years old, from Munich, served in signals like Anna, survived 18 days of marching, died from eating real food. By evening, 2 more are dead. Gisela Roth, 27, Katharina Wolf, 19. Anna knew Katharina. Not well, but they'd shared a barracks in Munich. Same age. Katharina wanted to be a teacher after the war. Now she's under a sheet. Anna's IV drip continues. Her stomach cramps ease slightly. She drifts in and out of consciousness. Dreams of her father. Dreams of Lotta. Dreams of roast beef that turns to ash in her mouth. May 10th. Morning. Anna wakes in the medical tent, still alive. The IV is still in her arm, but the bag is nearly empty. Captain Barnes checks her pulse. Nods. "You're stabilizing. We'll keep you here one more day." "The others?" Anna asks. 31 are recovering. 3 are dead. The rest of your group, the ones who weren't hospitalized, they're doing better. Their bodies handled it." Anna thinks about that. Lottery of biology. Some bodies could accept kindness. Others couldn't. She hears footsteps outside the tent. A familiar voice speaking in English. Thomas. He enters carrying a tray, sees the rows of cots, the IV lines. His face goes pale. Captain Barnes intercepts him. "Sergeant, what you did yesterday nearly killed 34 women." Thomas stops. The tray trembles in his hands. "I was trying to help." "I know. But you can't feed a starving person a full meal. Their organs can't handle it. 3 are dead. We might lose more." Thomas sets the tray down. His hands are shaking now. "I didn't know. I just saw them. They looked like my grandmother. I thought food would save them." Captain Barnes's expression softens slightly. "Your intent was good, but good intentions kill people too. Medicine is knowing when to help, and when helping hurts." Thomas looks past the doctor. His eyes find Anna on her cot. He walks over, stands beside her bed, doesn't speak for a long moment. Finally, "I'm sorry." Anna shakes her head. "You didn't kill them. Starvation killed them. You tried to save us. 3 women are dead because I fed them. And 279 are alive because you fed them." Thomas sits down hard on the edge of her cot, puts his head in his hands. Anna does something that surprises her. She reaches out, touches his shoulder, the same gesture he'd given her yesterday. "In Germany," she says slowly in broken English, "we would call this mercy." Thomas looks up. "In America," he says, "we call it doing the right thing even when it hurts." They sit in silence. The medical tent hums with quiet activity. Nurses check vital signs. Women sleep or cry softly. Outside the camp continues its routine. Anna pulls her hand back, lies down again. The exhaustion is overwhelming. "Will you bring more food tomorrow?" she asks. Thomas nods, then explains the new protocol. "Smaller portions. Captain's orders. We feed you slow. Build you back up careful." "Good." He stands to leave, then pauses mid-step, as if remembering something. "The girl who died, Katerina. Did you know her?" "A little." "What did she want after the war?" "To be a teacher." Thomas's jaw tightens. He nods once, then walks out. Anna watches him go, thinks about what he said, doing the right thing even when it hurts. She'd never heard anyone describe duty that way. In Germany, duty was absolute. You followed orders, results didn't matter. But Thomas seems broken by the results. 3 women dead from his kindness. She can see it in his shoulders, the weight settling there. She closes her eyes, sleeps. May 12th. Anna is released from medical tent. She's gained 4 pounds, 93 now, still skeletal but stable. She returns to the barracks. Women are working now, laundry duty, garden detail, mess hall assistants, keeping busy, keeping alive. Margareta Wolf, the Oberleutnant who led them through the march, has taken unofficial command. She assigns duties, settles disputes, maintains order. She approaches Anna. "You're assigned to laundry, light work, build your strength." Anna nods. "The American sergeant, Thomas, he's been asking about you." Anna says nothing. "He brings extra food every day," Margaret continues. "Not just for you, for all of us. Against regulations, I think. But he does it anyway." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because you should know. Some men show kindness expecting payment. Others show kindness because they can't help themselves. You need to know which kind he is." Anna thinks about this. Which kind do you think he is? Margaret's face is unreadable. The dangerous kind. The kind who'll break rules to feed enemies. The kind who gets himself hurt trying to save people who might not deserve saving. She walks away. Anna reports to laundry duty. Large wooden tubs, lye soap, hot water heated over fires. American uniforms mostly. The work is hard, but rhythmic. Anna finds comfort in the routine. At noon, Thomas appears, carrying wax paper packages. He hands one to each woman, 2 sandwiches, roast beef, still warm. He reaches Anna last. Eat slow, he says in German, then adds in English, small bites. Anna unwraps the paper. The smell hits her, salt and fat and char. Her mouth waters, but she's careful now. She learned the lesson. Take small bites. Chew thoroughly. Let her body adjust. She takes a bite, swallows, waits. Her stomach accepts it without cramping. She looks up at Thomas. Thank you. He nods, starts to leave. Wait, Anna says. He turns back. Why? She asks. Why do you keep bringing food? Thomas is quiet for a moment. Then he reaches into his jacket pocket, pulls out a photograph, hands it to Anna. The photo shows a young man in uniform, American Army, dark hair, grey eyes, same eyes as Thomas, maybe 21 years old, smiling. My brother, Eddie. Anna studies the photo. He looks like you. People said that. Anna hands the photo back. Waits. Thomas doesn't take it, just stands there, hands at his sides. He died in January. Belgium, Battle of the Bulge, German artillery. Anna's chest tightens. She understands now. She's looking at the enemy who killed his brother. Thomas should hate her, should let her starve. I'm sorry, she whispers. Thomas takes the photo back, tucks it away. Eddie wrote me a letter before he died, got it in February. He said if he didn't make it, I shouldn't hate Germans. Said you're just kids fighting for the wrong side. He looks at Anna directly. You're 19, same as Eddie when he enlisted. You got hollow cheeks like he had before deployment, same grey eyes. Thomas's voice cracks. I see him in you. And I think, what if Eddie got captured? Would some German sergeant feed him, or would they let him starve? Anna doesn't have an answer. My grandmother. Thomas continues. She's from Poland. Came to America in 1919. She starved during the First War. She taught me something, in Polish. Nienawiść jest jak picie trucizny I oczekiwanie, że umrze druga osoba. He translates, hate is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Anna feels tears forming. She blinks them back. Your brother was right. We were fighting for the wrong side. Thomas shakes his head. Doesn't matter now. War's over. What matters is what we do next. He turns to leave, stops, looks back. Du gehörst mir, Anna. You're mine to take care of. Not because I own you, because that's what family does. And you're family now, whether you like it or not. He walks away. Anna stands holding the wax paper, the roast beef sandwich. The words echo in her head. Family. She spent 3 years believing Americans are monsters. Thomas just called her family while standing over the grave of a brother she helped kill. Anna lowers herself onto the bench, takes another measured bite and chews with deliberate slowness. Cries quietly. Around her, other women eat their sandwiches. Some are crying too. Not from fear anymore, from the shock of kindness from people they were taught to hate. Weeks pass. Anna gains weight. £93 becomes 98. Then 103, then 108. Her cheeks fill out slightly, her hair stops falling out. Colour returns to her skin. She works laundry every day. Thomas visits every day, always with food, sometimes roast beef sandwiches, sometimes chocolate bars, once a whole apple pie split among 20 women. He's stealing from the PX, Anna realizes, using his own money, his own rations, for them. One evening in early June, Anna is folding laundry when Margaret approaches. "Supply officer asked me about the extra food, wanted to know where it's coming from." Anna's hands still. "What did you tell him?" "That I don't ask questions when Americans show generosity." He didn't push further, but Thomas needs to be careful. He could get in trouble. That night, Anna can't sleep. She thinks about Thomas breaking rules for them, risking punishment for enemies. She thinks about Oberführerin Kaufmann, the propaganda films, the certainty that Americans are beasts. Everything was a lie. The Americans who feed prisoners real food, who risk court-martial to bring extra rations, who call enemies family. The lies were so complete that Anna doesn't know what's true anymore. Except this roast beef tastes better than propaganda. July arrives. Heat settles over the camp. Anna is 112 pounds now. Healthy weight for her height. She looks almost normal except for the hollowness behind her eyes that won't fade. She's learning English from Thomas. Simple phrases. "Thank you. Good morning. How are you?" The language feels strange in her mouth, but she practices. One afternoon, Thomas teaches her baseball terms. Strike, ball, home run. She doesn't understand the game, but she likes the rhythm of the words. "Why teach me English?" she asks in German. "Because war's over. You'll go home eventually. English might help. World's getting smaller. Good to know languages." "Where will I go?" Thomas's expression darkens. "Berlin's Soviet sector now. That's where you're from, right?" Anna nods. "I heard." Thomas says carefully that Soviet sector is hard for women. Maybe you stay here longer, until things settle. But they both know that's not how it works. Prisoners go home. Orders are orders. July 15th, mid-morning. Anna is hanging laundry when she hears shouting from the administrative building. Male voices, angry. She looks up, sees Thomas and another sergeant arguing. The other man is bigger, red-faced, pointing at Thomas. "You're violating direct orders, Kowalski. Rations are cut 30%. No exceptions. No extra food for POWs." Thomas stands his ground. "They'll starve again. You've seen them. They're barely recovered." "Not my problem. Not yours either. Division's shipping troops to Pacific. We need those supplies." These women aren't threats. They're clerks and radio operators. Kids. They're enemy combatants. And you're giving away US government property. The big sergeant walks away. Thomas stands there, hands in fists. Anna approaches slowly. "What happened?" Thomas exhales hard. "Ration cut. 30%. No more extra food. Orders from division." Anna feels something cold settle in her stomach. "So, no more sandwiches. Not officially. What does that mean?" Thomas looks at her. That same expression from the first day. Determination. Protection. Means, "I'll figure something out." He walks away before she can respond. That night, Anna lies in her bunk. Thinks about the weight she's gained. 112 pounds. 23 pounds in 2 months. All because of Thomas's extra rations. If those stop, she'll lose it again. So will the others. They'll survive. The basic rations are adequate for maintenance, but barely. She thinks about Thomas's face when he said he'd figure something out. The set of his jaw. The weight in his words. He's going to do something stupid, she realizes. Something that could get him in real trouble. July 20th. The ration cut takes effect. Breakfast portions shrink. Dinner portions shrink. Women notice immediately. Anna loses 2 pounds in 5 days. Feels the hunger creeping back. Not starvation level, but the old familiar gnaw. July 25th. Thomas appears at laundry duty. He's carrying packages wrapped in brown paper, more than usual. He distributes them quickly. Extra bread, butter, potatoes, and roast beef. A 20-pound slab already cooked cut into portions. Anna stares at it. "Where did you get this?" Thomas doesn't answer, just moves to the next woman, keeps distributing. After he's gone, Anna examines the meat. It's not from the mess hall. Wrong cut. Different preparation. This came from outside the camp. She asks Rodriguez, the cook, who helps Thomas sometimes. Rodriguez is working mess duty. He pulls her aside. "Don't ask questions you don't want answered." "I need to know." Rodriguez sighs. He's using his own money. Buying from local German farmers. Black market. Spent his whole month's pay. $78. That roast beef alone cost $35. Anna does the math. $78 is a month's salary for a technical sergeant. Thomas spent it all on food for German prisoners. He'll have no money for himself. He knows. This is illegal, isn't it, black market? Very illegal. If his CO finds out he's court-martialed. Anna feels sick. Why would he do this? Rodriguez looks at her like she's stupid. Because he can't help himself. Because he sees you starving again and it breaks something in him. Because he's the kind of guy who'd rather get court-martialed than watch kids go hungry. Rodriguez goes back to work. Anna holds the roast beef, wrapped in brown paper, bought with a month's wages. Criminal to obtain. All for her. For women he should hate. She has to stop him. July 28th. Morning formation. Captain Hayes, the camp commander, walks through the POW section. He's doing a routine inspection. He stops at the laundry area, looks at the women, sees their faces, healthier than they should be on reduced rations. He pulls Margareta Wolf aside, speaks quietly. Anna can't hear the conversation, but she sees Margaret's face. Calm, neutral. Hayes nods, walks away. Margareta approaches Anna. "Captain asked where the extra food comes from." Anna's heart hammers. "What did you say?" "That some women have been foraging in the forest, finding mushrooms and berries." "He didn't believe me, but he didn't push." "Will he report Thomas?" "I don't know." That afternoon, Anna watches Hayes's office, sees him talking with Thomas. The conversation lasts 10 minutes. When Thomas emerges, his face is stone. Anna intercepts him outside. "What happened?" "He knows. About the black market. About the money." "Will he court-martial you?" Thomas shakes his head slowly. "Said he didn't see anything. But if supplies don't improve, I need to stop." "So you're safe?" "For now." Anna exhales. "You can't keep doing this. You'll lose everything." Thomas looks at her. Really looks at her. "You don't understand, Anna. I already lost everything. Eddie's dead. Most of my unit's dead. I've seen things that'll give me nightmares until I die. The only thing I have left is knowing I tried to do something good." He turns away. "If feeding you costs me my career, that's fine. At least it'll mean something." He walks away before she can respond. Anna stands there, holding nothing, feeling the weight of his words. She thinks about her father's letters, about duty and honor and following orders, about the certainty that guided her for 3 years. Thomas is violating orders, breaking laws, risking everything. And somehow that feels more honorable than anything Anna did in her uniform. August arrives. Camp routine continues. Supplies improve slightly. Hayes approved a requisition increase, marked it urgent humanitarian need. Division approved. The extra rations return, not as much as before, but enough. Thomas still brings food, but less frequently. Less risk. Anna is 115 pounds now. She works laundry, learns English, waits for repatriation orders that haven't come yet. On August the 10th, Thomas is teaching her pronunciation. They're sitting outside the laundry building, evening light golden through the trees. Schmetterling, Anna says. Butterfly. Thomas tries to repeat it. His German is terrible. The word comes out mangled. Anna laughs. Can't help it. The sound surprises her. She hasn't laughed since before Lotta died. Thomas looks startled, then smiles. That's the first time I've heard you laugh. Anna covers her mouth, self-conscious. I didn't realize I could anymore. Do it again. It wasn't that funny. I don't care. I like it. Sounds like bells. Anna feels her face heat, changes the subject. Why do you keep coming here? The food, I understand. You're trying to help. But teaching me English, sitting with me, you don't have to do that. Thomas is quiet for a long moment. You're 19, he finally says. You should be in university, going to dances, falling in love, not in a prison camp folding army laundry. He looks away. Eddie would have been your age, same hollow cheeks before he left, same eyes. Understanding crashes over Anna. You're not helping me. You're trying to save him. Thomas doesn't confirm or deny, just sits there. Anna reaches out, takes his hand. The gesture feels enormous, foreign, but necessary. You can't save him. He's gone. I know. But you can help me. And you have. More than you know. Thomas's hand tightens on hers. Sometimes I think about what would have happened if I hadn't caught you that first day. If you'd hit that rock. If you'd died. But I didn't. 47 women did. On your march. 3 more from the food I gave them. 50 women I couldn't save. Anna squeezes his hand harder. And 279 you did save. That has to count for something. They sit in silence, holding hands. 2 people from opposite sides of a war that just ended, connected by roast beef and grief and something neither can name. The sun sets. Stars appear. Somewhere in the camp, jazz music plays. Anna thinks about tomorrow and the day after and all the uncertain days ahead. But right now, in this moment, she feels something she hasn't felt in years. Safe. Because Thomas Kowalski, enemy soldier, brother of a man her people killed, said she belongs to him. And somehow, impossibly, that makes her feel like she finally belongs somewhere. August the 22nd, 1945. Evening. The camp settles into its routine as sunset paints the sky orange and purple. Anna works alone in the laundry building, folding the last batch of uniforms. Her hands move automatically now. Fold, smooth, stack. She hums without thinking. A melody from childhood. Guten Abend, gute Nacht. Brahms's lullaby. Her mother sang it when Anna was small. Before the war. Before everything changed. She doesn't notice Thomas enter until he speaks. I know that song. Anna startles. Drops a shirt. Thomas picks it up, hands it back. My grandmother sang it, he says, in Polish. Different words, same melody. He begins humming, then adds words softly. Dobranoc moje dziecko. Anna's throat tightens. The melody twines with hers, Polish and German, enemy languages, same lullaby. They sing together without planning to. His voice rough and uncertain, hers clear and small. The notes fill the laundry building, hang in the air like something sacred. By the end, both are crying. Thomas wipes his eyes roughly. Babcia taught me that. My grandmother. She sang it every night when I was little. My mother sang it to me, Anna whispers. I haven't thought about it in years. They stand in the fading light, the song still echoing. Thomas takes a breath, seems to gather courage. Anna, I need to tell you something. In German first, then English, so you understand completely. He speaks slowly, choosing each word with care. Du bist nicht meine Gefangene. Du bist jetzt meine Schwester. Then in English, you're not my prisoner. You're my sister now. The words hit Anna like a physical blow. Sister, family, not property, not enemy, family. She tries to speak, can't. The sobs come too hard. I tried to kill you, she finally manages in broken English. My people killed your brother. Why do you do this? Thomas steps closer, not touching, just present. Eddie told me not to hate, in his last letter, and Babcia taught me that family isn't blood. It's who you feed when they're starving. Anna covers her face with her hands. 3 years of propaganda. 3 years of certainty that Americans are beasts. All of it crashing down under the weight of 8 words. You're not my prisoner. You're my sister now. Thomas waits while she cries. Doesn't rush her. When she finally looks up, he's holding out a handkerchief. Clean. White. She takes it. Thank you, she says in careful English. For everything. For the food. For the words. For making me human again. You were always human. You just forgot for a while. They stand together as darkness falls. Somewhere outside, women sing. German folk songs. The guards don't stop them. The war is over. Everyone is trying to remember how to be human again. September 1st, 1945. Morning formation. Margaret Wolfe receives the official notice. Her face goes carefully blank as she reads. When formation breaks, she pulls Anna aside. Repatriation orders. Camp closes September 30th. All prisoners return to designated zones. Anna's stomach drops. Where am I going? Berlin, Soviet sector. The words hang between them. Both women know what that means. Stories have been filtering in for months. Soviet soldiers, mass rapes, disappearances, women ages 15 to 30 vanishing into labor camps or worse. How long do I have? 29 days. Anna finds Thomas that afternoon. He's smoking outside the mess hall. She approaches slowly. The orders came. He doesn't look surprised, just nods. When? September 30th, Berlin, Soviet zone. Thomas's jaw tightens. He throws his cigarette down, grinds it under his heel. I'll fix it. I'll find a way to delay it. Keep you here longer. You can't. Orders are orders. I'll talk to Hayes. I'll write to division. I'll do something. Anna touches his arm. Thomas, you can't save everyone. His eyes meet hers. They're wet. I can try. For the next 9 days, Thomas tries everything. He appeals to Captain Hayes. Hayes is sympathetic but firm, above his authority. Orders from division. Thomas writes letters to division headquarters. No response. He contacts the Red Cross. They're sympathetic but powerless. No exceptions for individual prisoners. On September 8th, Anna finds him sitting alone behind the barracks, head in his hands. Eddie's Purple Heart medal on his knee. She sits beside him. Says nothing. I thought about helping you escape, Thomas finally says. Civilian clothes, false papers, get you west before the repatriation. That's treason. I know. You'd lose everything. Court-martial, dishonorable discharge, prison maybe. I know. Eddie wouldn't want that. Thomas looks at the medal in his hands, turns it over. Over. Eddie said save people when you can. But I can't save you. I can't stop them from sending you to a place where bad things happen to women. Anna takes his hand. The medal presses between their palms. You did save me. I'm not starving. I'm not dead. I'm stronger than I was. Because of you. It's not enough. It has to be. They sit in silence, the weight of impossible choices pressing down. September 11th, 1945. Evening. The Last Supper. Thomas arranges it with Rodriguez's help. Full spread for all 279 women. The same menu as May 8th. Full circle. Roast beef. Mashed potatoes with gravy. Green beans with butter. Apple pie. Cold milk in glass bottles. Rodriguez cooks like he's preparing a wedding feast. Every portion perfect. He wraps extra sandwiches in wax paper, one for each woman, for the journey home. The women eat slowly, this time not from starvation but from reverence, memorizing the taste, the smell, the feeling of being cared for. Anna sits with her plate, cuts the roast beef into small pieces. Chews each bite 47 times, one for each woman who died on the march. A private ritual, a way to carry them with her. After the meal, women gather their belongings. So little to pack. A change of clothes, letters from home if they're lucky, memories of 2 months in American hands. Anna walks to the laundry building one last time, finds the handkerchief Thomas gave her in August, the white one she cried into. She's kept it hidden, washed it carefully. Now she takes needle and thread from the sewing kit. She works by lamplight. Her stitches aren't perfect, but they're careful. Red thread spelling out words in German. Danke, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. When she's finished, she wraps something inside the handkerchief. A piece of roast beef from tonight's dinner. She'd asked Rodriguez to help preserve it. Salt-cured, air-dried, wrapped in the original wax paper from May 8th, the very first meal. She holds the package, feels the weight of it. This is more than food, this is proof. This is evidence that kindness happened, that an enemy became family. September 12th, 1945. Dawn. The platform is crowded with women and guards and steam from the waiting trains. 279 women boarding, heading east, into uncertainty. Anna stands in line, her small bag over her shoulder, the package clutched in both hands. Thomas is on the platform. He's not on duty. He came anyway, standing there in his uniform, watching. The line moves forward, women board, some crying, some silent, all scared of what comes next. Anna reaches the train steps, stops, turns back. Thomas is there, close enough to touch. She holds out the package. For you. Don't open it. Promise me. Thomas takes it, feels the weight. What is it? A promise. You kept your promise to me. Now I keep mine to you. She reaches up, touches his face, her hand against his cheek. Du gehörst mir, Thomas. You belong to me. The phrase reversed, given back. Family claiming family. Thomas's face crumples. He pulls her into a hug. Careful, gentle, like holding something precious that might break. I'll keep it forever, he whispers. Good. Remember me. Remember that you saved someone. That matters more than you know. The whistle blows. Anna pulls back, climbs the steps, finds a window seat. The train lurches forward. Anna presses her hand against the glass. Thomas stands on the platform. He's put the package over his heart, holding it there. The train picks up speed. The platform recedes. Thomas becomes smaller, a figure in uniform standing alone. Anna watches until he's a dot, then nothing. She sits back, closes her eyes, feels the tears come. She's going into Soviet territory, going home to a city that's been destroyed. She doesn't know if she'll survive, Doesn't know if she'll ever see America again, or roast beef, or Thomas. But she knows this. She belonged to someone. For 4 months, she was family to an enemy who chose kindness over hate. And that's worth more than survival. That's worth remembering. May 15th, 1995, Chicago O'Hare International Airport, 2:00 p.m., 50 years and 7 days after the first meal. Thomas Kowalski stands at international arrivals. He's 76 now, hair white, face lined. But his eyes are the same grey that Anna remembered. Beside him stands his wife Helen, Irish-American, nurse. They've been married 47 years. She knows about Anna. Thomas finally told her in 1989 when the Berlin Wall fell. His 3 children are here. Robert Mary Thomas Jr., 7 grandchildren. Michael stands closest to his grandfather, 25 now, the one who found her. The arrivals board updates. Lufthansa flight from Hamburg, landed. Thomas's hands shake. He's carried that wax paper package for 50 years, checked it every few months, never opened it, never broke the promise. Yesterday he finally looked at it closely, saw writing on the inside of the wrapper he'd never noticed, faded ink. German words, für den Mann, der mich rettete, for the man who saved me. The doors open. Passengers emerge. Tourist families, business travelers, then 30 elderly women. They're in their 70s and 80s now. Some walk with canes, some in wheelchairs, but their eyes are bright, alert, scanning the crowd. At the front walks Margaret Wolf, 84 now, still standing straight, still a leader. And beside her, Anna Schmidt, 69 years old, grey hair, lined face, the same grey eyes. She sees Thomas, stops. For 3 seconds, 50 years collapse. They're 26 and 19 again, sergeant and prisoner, enemy and family. Anna walks forward, not fast. Her body is old now, but steady, determined. Thomas meets her halfway. They stop, stand facing each other. 2 old people in an airport, surrounded by the chaos of modern travel. Anna speaks first, in English, accented but clear. Du gehörst mir jetzt. You belong to me now. Thomas pulls out his wallet. The same wallet he's carried for 50 years, opens it, shows her the wax paper package, still there, still intact. I kept it, never opened it, kept the promise. Anna opens her purse, pulls out a handkerchief, white fabric, red thread. Danke Thomas, 50 years old, carefully preserved. I kept mine too. They embrace. 2 old people crying in an airport. Travelers walk around them. Some stare. Most ignore them. No one understands what they're witnessing. The redemption of a promise made in darkness, kept in light, returned with interest, compounded over half a century. Michael approaches with Anna's companions, 30 German women, survivors, each carrying something. They move to Grant Park. Thomas's family has arranged it. Picnic tables under trees, late afternoon sun golden through leaves. Rodriguez is there. 73 now, flew in from Texas. He spent 2 days cooking. The menu is exact. Roast beef, mashed potatoes with gravy, green beans with butter, white bread with real butter, apple pie, cold milk in glass bottles, same as May 8, 1945. The women sit. American family members join them. Children, grandchildren. The tables fill with people. Anna opens her basket. Inside are 30 wax paper packages. She'd worked with German butchers for weeks, getting it right. Same cut, same preparation. She places one sandwich in Thomas's hands. You fed us when we were nothing. Tonight, we feed you. Thomas unwraps the paper. The smell hits him. 50 years vanish. He's 26 again, standing in a camp, watching 282 women cry into their first real meal. He takes a bite. The flavor is exact, salt and fat, and the rich complexity of good beef. He closes his eyes. Tears stream down his face. Around the table, both families eat. Anna tells stories. The other women add details. They talk about the march, the starvation, the fear. Then the moment everything changed. When an American sergeant caught a falling girl and said 3 words in broken German, "You belong to me now." They talk about the months that followed, the extra food, the English lessons, the lullaby sung in 2 languages. Thomas's grandchildren listen. They'd never heard these stories, never knew their grandfather carried a piece of meat in his wallet for 50 years. Michael asks why. Thomas looks at Anna. She nods. Because some promises aren't meant to be broken. They're meant to be kept until your dying breath. Anna gave me that roast beef as proof that trying to do good matters, even when it costs everything, even when 3 women die from your kindness, even when you can't save everyone. He pulls out the wax paper, shows them. I kept it to remember that I tried, that for 4 months I chose mercy over hate, family over enemy, and that choice mattered. It mattered to 279 women. It mattered to their children and their grandchildren. He looks around the table, counts heads, over 200 people. 30 women survived that camp. They had children. Those children had children. Every person at this table exists because I caught one girl before she hit a rock, because I fed enemies roast beef. Anna raises her glass of milk. To Thomas Kowalski, who taught us that you belong to me doesn't mean ownership, it means family, and family feeds you when you're starving. Everyone raises their glasses. Americans and Germans, former enemies, current family. They drink cold milk under Chicago trees. The sun sets. Stars appear. Thomas sits between his wife and Anna, between the woman he married and the woman he saved, between the life he built and the promise he kept. He thinks about Eddie, about Babchia, about all the people who taught him that hate poisons you, not them. He thinks about 50 years carrying a piece of meat in his wallet, and he understands finally that it was never about the roast beef. It was about the moment an enemy became human, the moment duty became love, the moment a sergeant caught a falling girl and promised her she wouldn't starve, and kept that promise for 60 years. Some words can mean chains. Some words can mean family. And on May 8, 1945, 282 starving women learned the difference. 1 bite of roast beef at a time. March 17, 2005. Chicago. Thomas Kowalski dies peacefully at 86. His family surrounds him. In his wallet, the roast beef, still wrapped, still kept. They bury him with it, the wax paper package in his hand. A promise fulfilled, a life well lived. Anna Schmidt receives the news in Hamburg. She's 79 now. She lights a candle, whispers in German. You were my brother. I will carry you now, until we meet again. She lives 11 more years, dies May 7th, 2016, 90 years old, one day before the 71st anniversary of the first meal. Her last words delivered by phone to Thomas's family. Tell him I kept the promise. Tell him his sister remembers. The circle complete. May 8th, 2015, 70th anniversary. Chicago History Museum opens an exhibit. The Roast Beef Promise Won. Sergeant 329 Lives. Centerpiece Thomas's wallet. The wax paper. Anna's handkerchief. photographs from 1945, testimonies from survivors, and a quote from Anna's 2014 interview given 1 year before the exhibit opened. People ask why roast beef matters. It is not the food, it is what the food meant. When Thomas said, "You belong to me," he did not claim me like property. He claimed me like family. And family feeds you when you are starving, even if you are the enemy, especially if you are the enemy. That is what makes America different. Not the food, the choice to share it. The exhibit runs for 6 months, 30,000 visitors, reviews in newspapers, letters from veterans, stories from their children, and in the center of it all, a piece of 60-year-old roast beef, wrapped in wax paper, worth more than gold. Because some meals are not for eating. They are for remembering the day someone said you belonged to them and meant it in the only way that matters. Family. Forever.